Hello, friends. We make videos about urban exploration, but sometimes we get a little too close to things we shouldn't, and we have to run for our lives. This is one of those stories. The camera was rolling. The city lights were gone. The signal was dead. And every instinct I had ever told myself was to turn back. But Max had already climbed through the hole in the fence. And Cora, well, Cora never let Max go anywhere without her sarcastic commentary and a flashlight. So I followed them into the dark. The warehouse stood like a dead god, half collapsed and sagging under its own secrets. Once a meatpacking plant, now condemned. The perfect set for our next City of Ruin video, or so we thought. The air inside was heavy, cold. It didn't smell abandoned. It smelled cleaned. Recently, the sterile scent that hospitals have before someone dies in them. We split up like idiots. Max found it first. A laptop, still warm, sat on a tripod in the middle of the floor. On screen was a stream. Live chat scrolling in a language I couldn't read. Symbols, emojis, blood red text. New stream. Trespassers. Bounty open. Max laughed. Dude, someone's running an RG in here. Then the screen flickered. The camera changed angles. It was looking at us. And then the door slammed shut. The first trap hit fast. Max tried the exit, only to trigger a pressure plate under his foot. A pneumatic hiss, a hump of metal, and then crack. A spike the size of a sledgehammer burst from the wall and punched straight through his throat, lifting him clean off the ground. Blood sprayed in arcs. He made this awful gurgling noise, like he was trying to apologize, but couldn't anymore. Cora screamed. I just ran. The chat went wild. The words were foreign, but the tone was clear. One down. We thought we could outsmart it. Stay low, stay together, find a way out. But the place was wired like a horror theme park for sadistic thrill seekers. Every corner was a decision tree. Every room a death pole. We lost a guy who followed us in, not sure who he was, maybe a security guard or some other idiot looking to help. He stepped into what looked like a janitor's closet. The floor gave way, and a swinging cleaver the size of a door came down from above. Split. He was split from shoulder to gut. You could see everything spill out. And the camera zoomed in. I swear I heard clapping, like a real-time audience. Cora was next. They strung her up in what used to be a processing room. Meat hooks lined the ceiling. Her arms were chained above her head, suspended over a pit slick with old blood and bones. I couldn't reach her. All I could do was watch on a monitor while the masked bastard asked the viewers, meat or bone? Bone won. He dragged out a circular saw. Old, dirty. Sparks flew when he powered it on. The noise drowned out her screams as he started with her arm. Not a clean cut, a peel like slicing through bark. Muscle tore, blood fountained. I turned away, but the camera didn't. I don't know how I made it to the control room. Half the monitors were still playing past kills recordings. He saved everything. He archived it. The guy wasn't just a killer. He was a content creator, and he was still live. I found the stream controls and turned his feed public, out of the shadows into the world. Let them see what he really was. He didn't like that. He found me. The mask he wore reflected every screen, his own face multiplied 100 times in its mirrored surface. He grabbed me by the throat, shoved me against a rack of drives. You think they care? He whispered. You think they'll stop watching? I could barely breathe. But I reached, blind, and grabbed the nearest thing I could, a steel tripod. And I drove it through the back of his skull. It came out the front, through his eye socket, and cracked his mask in two. His body twitched once, then slumped forward, dragging cables and wires down with him. I let him fall. It took the cops hours to find me. They called me a hero. They praised me for shutting down the worst snuff channel the dark web had ever seen. I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like I'd broadcast hell. 2 weeks later, I was back in my apartment. Trying to sleep. My phone buzzed. A notification. New stream. Frame 1 premiere. I tapped it. The stream opened with an image. A mask. New, sleeker. Smiling. And in the corner of the screen, a live viewer count climbing by the second. The show wasn't over. It was just getting started.